We're back. What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Fears Boys podcast. I'm JP. This is my big bro, Jeremy. Just two small town guys talking about the love of sports. Bro, we're back.
We are. And you just told me that apparently a year ago today, we started this thing.
We did.
We did. With life, we haven't been able to be consistent with it. Work and babies, and I say babies, baby, one, singular. Our little MJ that we love. But yeah, I texted you the other day and I said, dude, it's time. And didn't even realize that 1 year anniversary.
That's right. Happy anniversary, bro.
Yeah.
We took a little 4-month little time away to, like you said, life got in the way and family, and I think it was good for us just to step away for a minute and
start teaching
and
and coaching and everything. Yeah, it's been a whirlwind with all that. So, but it's I'd say it's slowing down, but it ain't. So
that's right. Well, we got to make some time. We got to get back into it. I know I had a lot of people asking, like, man, when's the podcast coming back? We enjoyed it, so I was like, well, I think it is time. So, but since we've been gone, I mean, a lot's happened in the sports world. Where we picked off, we ended right there in the middle of college football, and Michigan comes out on top, which I was kind of not really surprised in a way. I knew they were good.
I like the Blake Corum guy, the little running back from Michigan. Like I'm a big fan of his. I like the little short stature. He was just a good player, man. And JJ McCarthy, and I like Jim Harbaugh too. So I'm just like, go for it, man.
Yeah, I mean, and then you get Nick Saban retiring after that.
Yeah,
and so this whirlwind of college football, you go from, this is the last year for 4 teams, and we're going to get into a bigger bracket next year, and then the transfer portal, which we know Ole Miss has done good in this year, and they're calling Kiffin the portal king, and and then State, I feel like is in that rebuild kind of situation at the current moment. But like, what do you think next year kind of looks like in your opinion? Do you think the playoffs growing is going to help, and what that looks like for different teams?
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't wrapped my brain. I've wrapped it around my feelings. How about that? I haven't wrapped my feelings around the 12-team playoff yet. Do I think it's good for college football? I mean, sure. I mean, that's what the FCS levels do. That's what you do in the NFL and everything like that. So if they play it like that, I think I'm gonna like it, because I like watching the FCSs like Montana State and all them guys go out and play the playoff systems or whatever. And so yeah, I think I'll like it if it's based on that standpoint. I do think I understand you got to put it in a bowl, right? Oh, we're this game in the Orange Bowl. But at the same time, I feel like that takes away from the bowl game itself.
Yeah.
This is a playoff game, so why not? And I don't know. I haven't read into it. I haven't had time, but how we've been doing the playoffs is these two are playing in the Cotton Bowl, these two are playing in the Sugar Bowl, and then you meet together and you'll play what's in the Rose Bowl, and that's 3 bowl games, right? I would just wish they would just let the higher seed host until
I'm pretty sure what's going to happen is you're going to have your top teams, right? Your top 4 or whatever, they get the bye. And then after that, it's, say, Ole Miss is hosting, or, they're the better seed against the Texas. And Texas is coming to Oxford, and we're playing a bowl game in Oxford.
I was sure that's how that was, not just because I haven't looked at it. But if it's like that, I'm okay with it. Just because, like, State's probably going to go 6-6 next year.
Yeah.
I'm excited about Jeff Lebby and the Showtime coming to Starkville, and he's getting some big-time recruits and everything. But we got a tough schedule. I mean, so if we go 6-6, ain't nobody going to take the Liberty Bowl for a playoff game, okay?
Yeah.
I don't want there to be like, well, because of this, State 6-6 and they can't get a bowl game. Like, we need that extra practice in year 1. So, it'll be different, for sure. But like I said, they run it like on that FCS level, I think it'll be fun.
Yeah. And I don't think like going in because we're getting close to March Madness and we love covering the basketball aspect of it
Mhm.
too. And we'll get into that just in a second. But like I don't think we're gonna see your Cinderellas in a sense, I guess you
No,
could say in that because you're not
not
gonna see like a I don't know, a Liberty get in there. And Liberty has been a good school and they're doing great,
and they're
but like you
they,
don't
they
see them gonna match up against an SEC school when SEC is just gonna run over it.
well, let's say it like this. Michigan better be glad there wasn't a 12-team playoff this year because Georgia would have found a way in the championship game.
Oh, for
Georgia
sure.
was the best team that had
By
one
far.
bad game and got kept out.
Yep.
And if Georgia gets into that Final Four, they're back to back
Totally.
to back champions. Okay,
For sure.
that's what everybody needs to realize is Michigan won. Michigan was a good team. I think Georgia beats them by 14.
Oh yeah.
And you know what I'm saying? And you just heard me say how much I like JJ McCarthy and Blake Corum.
Yeah.
All right, I think they're a good team. Georgia right now, like people are very glad, like Bama very glad they got in the playoffs, and
Yep.
Oregon, they better Washington better be glad they got there because if Georgia would have ran over every one of them teams.
Everyone, for sure.
But like you said, like a Liberty. Now let's just say Liberty gets in. That's that 12 seed that buy in. The Power Five, whatever they are, Group of Five team, and say they get Ole Miss. Right? I'm not saying Ole Miss is going to lose to them, but let's just say hypothetically, just because you're an Ole Miss fan, I know State ain't going to be there, and I know Ole Miss has got a great. Say
Yeah.
Liberty goes into Oxford and upsets Ole Miss. Okay. Well, then next week they got to go play Texas.
Texas.
Liberty's not built right now. I think they could be. With this transfer and the money coming. They're not built to go play an Ole Miss team and then turn around and play a Texas team. And then can they win that game and turn around and play Georgia?
Georgia.
That's going to be a TCU game all over again in the national championship game if they got to it. And that's not fun. And I get it. Hey, Group of Five, good job. Here's the 12 seed. Get in there, kid. Have fun.
Yeah.
And then it's 56-7.
Yeah.
I'm not saying they don't have athletes.
My buddy.
We have a special guest on the podcast.
Special guest. Oh, Coco.
Yeah. So I'm not saying like Liberty can't win games, but it's different. Like FCS in their playoffs, they're all on the same level. There is no Power Five, Group of Five. It's just FCS. You have your North Dakota State, South Dakota States, Montana States. They all play at Sam Houston State. They all just play each other year round. And hey, this is how you level. It's Delaware. This is where you rank. You know, and it's not it's almost unfair. It's almost like we need to have a Power Five top 8 playoff, a Group of 5 top 8 playoff. Winner of those two things, then you can meet. Good luck.
That's right.
Maybe hey, you were the Power 5 champion. You're the Group of 5 champion. Do y'all want to play each other? See if you're the best team in college football is.
Yeah.
Because again, Coastal Carolina, Liberty, Central Florida, all those schools that can be in it. Memphis, I think Memphis is a good team. Houston, they can't go back to back weeks against SEC, Big Ten. I mean, Big Ten's getting up there. ACC, they don't have the athletes. It's not the athletes. I think they have the athletes. They don't have the guys in the trenches. They don't have the O-line, D-line to hold up.
They can start it, but they can't finish it.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. And we're not trying to sit here and pick on these no-name teams or anything like that. But it's just come to show of like what this is going to look like in a sense.
Like you said, it's different in March Madness.
That's right.
One guy gets hot, can carry a team. A shooter shoots. I mean, my gosh, you get one guy like think of Steph Curry when he's at Davidson. Man got hot and carried his team to the Sweet 16. And then, but what happened? They ran into a bigger, better team.
That's right.
So, but I mean, again, on that aspect, I still here's the thing. You can make it a 64-team playoff in college football. It's going to come down to an SEC, Big Ten, or an ACC. Because Pac-12 is exploding. The Big 12 exploded. So it's going to come down to those 3 conferences right there. And most likely it's going to be an SEC versus Big Ten or Big Ten versus Big Ten or SEC versus SEC.
Right.
Because even though I think Florida State's good, I don't think they could compete with a Big Ten SEC school.
No.
And I don't know what Dabo's doing at Clemson anymore because they're not doing anything. You know,
Right.
you're on your knees praying. I mean, nothing wrong with praying. I ain't saying that, but you're, against a weaker team in a bowl game to make a field goal. You know, and I'm like,
Yeah.
you shouldn't be in that situation at Clemson.
That's right.
So, um,
For sure.
but
And
it's
and
going.
that's another team too that you don't think about too, because they can easily stay around that 12 ranked spot. And it's like, I mean, there's Dabo. He's won before.
Yeah.
Can't, he can put his team in that aspect. Look, I mean, granted, he had great players and that are in the NFL and stuff like that, but like those, I don't know. It's going to be fun to watch for sure. Something that we have to get used to. And
now let me ask
will
you
they
this:
open up more?
Do you think from watching games? Do you think once, let's just say, let's say Ole Miss, just because, like I said, you're an Ole Miss fan, we'll just keep it local. You know, y'all come out, you're hot, you're 6-0, then you lose 2 games back to back, you're 6-2, and you know, hey, we're probably not going to make the playoffs. Does that change? I don't think it changes Kiffin's mindset, but I do think it may change other coaches' mindset. Is it, hey, we're 6-2, we're not making the playoffs, let's just get this grind the last 4 games? Because I feel like if I can't get top 4, I have a loss. And I kind of think that's what happened with Dabo and Clemson.
Well, that's college football in general. That's why I like watching the NFL so much. And I like watching them is like, because my buddy, he's a big Steelers fan at work, and it's like, we lost the first game. It's okay. We got 17, 18 weeks of football, and we can still make the playoffs. But like in college, we lost the first game, it's over with.
Yeah.
And I think that aspect's a little bit different because if you do have 2 losses and you still win out, you still have a good record, it's like, hey, we still have a chance here.
Yeah.
To get in that 12th spot, know?
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I just feel, I like that. I wouldn't mind them going the way the NFL does it, but sure. NFL, 32 teams, you got 128, 132 teams in college football. So,
yeah.
Again, I just think, I do think eventually you're going to see the SEC, Big Ten, probably ACC. I think you're going to see these colleges pull away from the NCAA and do their own thing. The NCAA has all these rules lined up. I really do think you're about to see college football in the next 10 to 15 years, if it's still around, become the minor. And I mean, it already is, but it's going to be like legit minor leagues for NFL.
Yeah.
So, but
for sure,
it's just money. Who's got the most?
For sure. I mean, NILs are going crazy. That's just the biggest thing. We lost Judkins to Ohio State. I mean, even though I don't know if you read up on that a lot, but he wanted more money, right? And what we were going to offer him is actually less than what he got at Ohio State. So we were offering him, I think, like 2.5 or something like that, which is still crazy to me.
Yeah.
To play college football. If that was around today and we were growing up and we were going like, heck yes, I'll be playing college sports right now. But
here's the thing, and this is, because I know we're going to transition to this. Brock Purdy's making $750,000 a year, and he's in the Super Bowl. He's a 49er starting quarterback in the Super Bowl. And he's making less than these guys in college. And that's what I've heard and what I've read is that's the reason why Nick Saban got out of it. Is because he said, I was tired of going to so-and-so's house and mama going, how much are you going to give my baby to play?
Right.
And if you said, 100,000 when Joe Blow over here was giving them 500,000, well, guess where that kid was going to school?
That's right.
Whoever's paying the most money.
That's right.
And, I ain't mad that Judkins went to Ohio State. That's less I got to see him play against State,
That's right.
So, but it sucks for these guys. Like, I'm a huge State fan, right? And we've got a bunch, we got J.J. Harrell coming in and a couple other good receivers coming in. As freshmen, what happens if they don't touch the ball this year?
They're just going to transfer.
What's going to happen? Georgia's going to call. Alabama's going to call. Florida State's going to call. Ole Miss is going to call. Auburn's going to call. Hey, you didn't touch the ball as a freshman, and they only offered you $300,000. We got $1 million lined up for you and guarantee you're going to touch the ball. Well, there goes that kid.
Yep.
Here State is trying to rebuild it once again.
That's right.
I don't know. I like the transfer portal. I think it's good for the kids. They gotta have to tighten some reins down on it to
For
where,
sure.
hey, I'm at state. I'm going to go to Ole Miss and start immediately. I thought there was supposed to be a sit down year. There's not a sit down year. I don't know. It's wild. It's wild.
Yeah.
It needs to be tightened down. I'll be curious about the 12-team playoff, but I don't know. I really ain't got a dog in the fight. I'm just a state fan.
Yeah.
I'm just being disappointed. So I'll just
Yeah.
continue to be disappointed when state plays games. So
Yeah. Well, you mentioned Brock Purdy. We'll just transition into that Super Bowl. We got it on February 11th, so not this Sunday, but the next. We got the Niners versus the Chiefs. The Niners. I figured it was going to happen, right? I figured they were going to be there.
Got probably the best group of athletes that are
great
playing.
Coach.
Got a great coach. Comes from pedigree of great coaches and players. Same with McCaffrey.
Yeah.
Well, you think about it, you got McCaffrey, who before
First
he got
year.
before he got there last year, middle of the season, was always hurt in Carolina. Like something's in the water in Carolina. You know what I'm saying? Like
That's
it's something. Came over here to San Francisco and it's never missed. Is always playing well. Then you got George Kittle, one of the top 5 tight ends in the league.
Probably 2, right?
I would probably go 2 or 3. Yeah, for sure. You got Brandon Ayuk. You got Deebo Samuel. I mean, it's just like Purdy.
On the other end, you got Bosa.
Yeah, and Fred Warner.
Chase Young.
Which was a heck of a trade. Now, can they re-sign Chase Young this offseason? I don't know. He's only going to want a bag unless he wins a ring and goes, hey, I'll take a decent salary to stay here because everybody's going to be here, right?
Yeah.
Then you got the best game manager since Tom Brady as quarterback.
Yeah.
So, and I don't know if you've seen all these interviews this week or after the game last week, and they're all Fred Warner and Nick Bosa, and they're like, they get Brock Purdy, the game manager, and da-da-da-da-da. Brock is not a game manager. Brock is a great quarterback.
Yes.
Mr. Irrelevant, last pick of the draft, not supposed to do what he's doing. All right. Yep. For those listening on here, that are a little older, I mean, Tom Brady was picked in like the 6th round.
6th round.
Yeah, 6th round. Okay. Took him a couple years. Bledsoe gets hurt, goes into New England, goes and wins. All right. Yep. Just great. Tom Brady was not, I mean, he had Randy Moss for a year or two, throwing it deep. He had Gronk. He had, the guy with the best kill, the longest kill streak in the NFL, Aaron Hernandez. And then he had the little white boys running around everywhere. Okay.
Yeah.
Like he was a check down guy too. And he never went into the Super Bowls as a guy throwing for 500 yards and 6 TDs.
Right.
That's Patrick Mahomes. Okay. That's what Kansas City does. Like you go back and look at Tom's Super Bowls. He had a group around him that we ran the ball so many times. We had check down passes. And if I needed to, I could stretch the field with my arm. Purdy's like the second coming of Tom Brady. I don't care. People don't want to hear that at all. They don't want to hear it. But he's going to be, if he stays healthy, he's going to be – is he going to win 6 Super Bowls? Probably not. I don't think so.
Yeah. But
I think he puts the same stats up like Tom Brady does if he's healthy because he's got the weapons around him to do that.
For sure. Yeah, I love Brock Purdy. He and you talked about McCaffrey as well, so we'll hit on both of those real fast. Purdy, McCaffrey are your fantasy football draft picks, in my opinion. Purdy puts up numbers. McCaffrey puts up numbers.
I mean, I wouldn't have won fantasy this year if I hadn't picked up Purdy.
Yes.
And I had Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah.
And I started Purdy over Mahomes because Mahomes has receivers that can't catch the ball. So,
or they just line up off sides.
Yeah, that too.
That too. But you know what they do have? They have Travis Kelce, and they also have Taylor Swift in the box. Ugh. So I got to give a little shout out to my wife. She's a Swiftie.
Well, I know she is. I bless her heart. She got nothing else going for her in her life, apparently.
Oh, yeah. Well, she's got me and a beautiful kid and 2 great dogs. So there's something going on.
Yeah, so that's a great thing. But the Swift thing, I am.
I really wish it was going to be Detroit in there, so to be an Eminem versus Taylor Swift little matchup there, that'd been great.
I love Dan Campbell, man. Like, he's one of the most real coaches.
He's a
And
dog, man.
it just, after the game going, hey, that might have been our only shot. And, as a coach, I know where that speech comes from is because, this group of 52 guys in the locker room right here, or 54, whatever it is.
Yeah.
There's somebody in here that won't be back next year because of contract issues, because you get traded or whatever it is.
Yep.
This might have been our only shot. I get where that's coming from. This group won't be together again. And It's the NFL. I mean, Kansas City, good for them. I mean, they're there almost every year. They're
past 5 years.
They're just like New England. You know what I'm saying? And if Kansas City wins next week, they're on par with a dynasty. And I think I see Shiley actually just commented this. They're on par with New England, and you can't deny it.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna go on limb and say this: Andy Reid, if they win next week, better coach than Bill Belichick.
Oh, for sure.
Better coach than Bill Belichick.
Yeah.
I mean, Bill Belichick went and applied for jobs, and they took other people over him.
Yeah.
So, that lets me know right now that franchise was run by Tom Brady and not Bill Belichick. So, yeah. But Andy Reid, though, I mean, to win in Philly, to come to KC and win, and I don't know if you ever watched Patrick Mahomes at Texas Tech. Like, yeah, he has a gunslinger mentality, but they didn't win a lot of games at Texas Tech. So, but he's coming to the league and just been great. And like we talking about Purdy's weapons, name me 4. I mean, you got to be a real Kansas City fan or watch football to know. Name me 4 of Mahomes' guys he throws the ball to.
I only know 2. I know 3. I know 3 people that he throws it to. Rasheed Rice, Travis Kelce, and Pacheco. That's the only 3 people that I know of.
Yeah.
Because they got rid of the other dude who kept lining off all sides because Andy Reid's like, he's not coming with us to the playoffs, whatever his name was.
Kadarius Toney. Yeah.
Kadarius Toney that they traded for in the
I know those 3 just because I had Rasheed White in fantasy. Okay. Yeah. And then Isaiah Pacheco, I just love the way he runs. He cracks me up. He tries to beats up the ground when he runs.
That's right. And, he is mad. He's like an angry toddler.
I just crack up when he runs. And then of course everybody knows Travis Kelce because I mean, we do a podcast. Him and his brother do a podcast. I mean, theirs is a lot more successful than ours is. But I feel like if we played in the NFL, we'd be just as successful. So, do I need to take my hoodie off?
No. Oh, okay. That's later on. That's later on.
Okay. I just want to make sure. Okay.
No, that's later on.
Okay.
We're gonna get to that. You just ruined it for everybody, so we'll save it for next week. Yeah.
I don't have a skybox to jump out of, but I can figure it out.
And you I was gonna say something about the skybox. Did you see what the suites are going for in Las Vegas right now? They're going for over $2.5 million.
I heard a person.
A person. And Christian McCaffrey says, or his wife actually tweeted, because that his wife is on a podcast as well with a bunch of other ladies, and she's like, we have the money, but we ain't paying for it. See, why would you spend that much money? I'm just like, what the heck?
I was over at our grandparents' house, and Papa and I were talking about how much it was costing to go or whatever, and I looked at him, I said, I'm sorry. I don't care what the weather is. I don't care who's playing. It could be Mississippi State in the national championship game. I ain't paying over. Look, if State's in the national championship game, I may scrounge up pay $1,000 to go watch them in person. Okay?
Yeah.
Anything over that, I am more comfortable hanging out with my friends at my house or their house.
Yeah.
Sitting on the couch, ringing my cowbell, and going to the bathroom and not having to fight for it. You know what I'm saying? Right. But $2.5 million per person?
Yes.
I wish I owned a suite in Las Vegas.
I swear. That's crazy, man.
Golly, I didn't realize that.
It's wild. I mean, just everything is expensive. Even for the rich people.
Yeah.
Good for McCaffrey in that. For not spending that much money.
I think I know I read something where his mom was saying something like, even with the money that they have, like they told us you can get a regular seat.
Yeah.
So
for sure. And this is his first Super Bowl. So of course his family's going to be packed out there, and
Yeah, yeah,
which is wild because of the year that he's had, and
yeah.
he's doing great things over there. So,
And this
but yeah,
Kyle Shanahan, his first Super Bowl since blowing 28-3 when he was at
wow,
Atlanta. Yeah, he's OC at Atlanta that year. So
yeah, I didn't really realize that.
yeah,
That's
so
awesome. So we're getting into, we're at the beginning of February, which means college basketball is still going on. We
mhm.
have not long ago the Rebs and Bulldogs played each other in Oxford, and
Yeah, it went about how I was
it was
expected.
a good game.
Yeah, I think
It
both
was a good
teams are.
game.
I think um, I think both are really good teams. I think Ole Miss needs a big to step up, and I think State needs a shooter to step up
Yeah,
to make it. I think we both are going to be in the tournament. I really do. But I think watching that game, it's like you guys got like from the last two and a half minutes, last two and a half minutes of the first half until like the 10-minute mark in the second half. I think you guys shot like 80% from the field. I mean, just
yeah,
hitting everything that dropped. And, you know, I hope State kept it close, made a run there at the end, and just couldn't make free throws when it counted. But and I
yeah,
expect when you guys come down to Starkville, I expect State to win that game. I really do think we'll split that 1-1.
yeah.
Uh, so
Because y'all are not a bad team, right? Like
no,
I know that you're not
we
ranked, and we've been in and out of the top 20
yeah,
because it's
we've
like
had a
you
couple
get ranked,
we've had a
and
couple really bad losses to some really bad teams that are going to hurt the RPI for sure.
yeah,
But we that's what I was telling Lucius the other day. My boy Lou, we've upset Tennessee, who's a top 10 team, and we upset Auburn, who's a top 10
Auburn,
team. And I'm sitting there going, my God, can we just play top 10 teams? I mean,
yeah,
apparently that's we play our best ball is when we're playing top 10. I mean, it's
yeah,
all around. We play really, really well. So, Josh Hubbard, the freshman, he was committed to Ole Miss, and Kermit Davis left, and he decommitted and came to State, which thank
yeah,
God because the boy's a beast. And
yeah,
Tulu, we got him back from being injured or whatever, and those two are going to put their points up. Thank God.
yeah,
But
yeah,
we've got to find a third guy. Like I love Cam Matthews. Cam Matthews, I think could be the guy to where he can go in the NBA and be like Draymond Green,
yeah,
or he is physically built to go in the NFL and be Antonio Gates and play tight
yeah.
end.
He's
And
shooting 61.7% from the field this season.
yeah,
61.7. That is phenomenal
yes,
for a college athlete, for
yeah.
sure.
But his game's just all around. He's gonna get 5 points, 8 boards, 6 steals, 4 blocks, and just he's always going to be in the mix. I really want to see DJ Jeffrey step up. Fifth year
Yep.
senior, the transfer from Memphis. He's got for us to get hot and go on a run and be good in the tournament. Look, as a State fan, get me to at least the Sweet 16.
Yeah.
Just get me there.
Yeah.
And that's what he said. How about this? Win round 1. Please, just win round 1.
Yeah.
I can tell you the last time State won round 1. That had to be early 2000s.
Yeah.
They won round 1 and got to the round of 32.
Yeah.
But give me the Sweet 16, and I'll tell you what, I'll call it a success. I'll call Chris Jans one of the best basketball coaches there is.
Yeah.
So, but I felt the same with Ole Miss. Like Ole Miss has got a team to go to the Sweet 16, and they may can go beyond because you guys have shooters. You guys can shoot.
But my biggest thing is you have 2 guys that are over 7'3" who do not touch the ball enough, in my opinion. And that comes from a guy who played in the big position in basketball and high school.
Right.
Get the man the ball. Just let him touch it.
Yeah.
That's opening up something, because if a big man is touching the ball and I'm down here in the post, someone's going to come try to double team me. What's that mean? I got 4 other people that can shoot the ball, and Matthews and everybody else, like you said, they can shoot the ball. Yeah. Just get the ball open, get them to them. If not, hey, I'm 7'2", 7'3". I'm going to just do my work. If I miss one, okay, I learned from it. Let's, but they are doing things that are not on the stat sheet. It's hard for people to drive in and get easy layups because your arm length is 9 foot long, and you know what I'm saying. So if they step it up, I could, like I said, Sweet 16 for sure is what you'll be seeing.
Yeah.
Sorry, dogs are chewing on something back here. So, but yeah. So tonight, you guys reface Alabama in Bama, 7:30. The last time you guys played, it was 82-74 game, pretty close. I think it should have been a little bit closer. But Bama is a good team. They've been pretty good. I think they're top SEC.
I can't remember that game. I phone's on the charger.
I'll try to pull it up.
I want to say we missed like 15 free throws that game.
Let me pull the stats up for you. Let's see. T. Smith was your top scorer with 15 points.
Yeah, I think that's one of his first game back.
He had 12 turnovers. You out-rebounded them by one. So, I mean, there's that. So, free throw percentage, you shot 55% from the free throws. It doesn't say – oh, there it is. 15 for 27.
Yeah, so we missed 12.
Yeah.
Lose by 8 and miss 12 free throws.
They shot 26 and they made 22 of them. So, you live and die by the three. You live and die at the line.
100%. 100%.
For sure.
I coach basketball right now in high school, and we won the Monroe County tournament a couple weeks ago, and the team we played, man, if they could make free throws, they'd have beat us. We won by 3, and they shot 14 of 34 from the free throw line.
Wow,
just 20 free throws, we win by 3. I'll take it. It's a win. Good for us.
Right.
But we make our free throws. We shoot 100 a day in practice.
Yeah. That was the biggest thing too, is like you start off shooting free throws when you're loose and you're warming up, but like the best thing about it, of course, and I'm sure that you do it as a coach, but like you've just practiced for 3 hours, you're dog tired, get on the line, we're shooting free throws. Because that's when it matters the most, is when it's a tie game in the fourth quarter and you need a free throw. You know what I'm saying? So it's like my arms feel like noodles.
My legs are
legs are like jello. Like, what do I do right now? And that's when you find that second gear. And that's what I love, about that, is the practice that goes with it. And it's like free throws are very important. People I don't have to worry about free throws. I can shoot from there. And it's like, no, it's harder when it's a tough game. You've been beaten left and right. You've been hit and fouled.
Fans loud. You got all the pressure on you at that line. Can you come in clutch?
Right. And I have before. I don't know if you remember that. Let's throw back to that. Little game-winning free throw. So
I remember
when you made me get on the line. You coached me during the summer. It's like we would run, and it's like, all right, shooting free throws.
Yeah.
This is when it matters most.
Yep.
When everything's on the line, like you said, the crowd's loud. You're playing a rival. You're in the playoffs.
Can you calm your heart down?
Yep. Silence everybody. Make the free throw. That's awesome. Yeah, so Bama's up top of the SEC. They're 7-1 in conference play. Ole Miss is at home tonight at a sold-out game against Auburn.
Yeah, that's going to be a good game. I tell you what, Auburn, I like Bruce Pearl. I know he's always been a coach that's been, seen as a tough guy and has had some issues off the court or whatever. But, one thing I like about Auburn – I'm glad we beat them, I'm not going to lie. But what I like about Auburn and Bruce Pearl is they play 10 guys. And they play 10 guys that average about 12 to 15 minutes a game.
Yeah.
That don't happen very often. State plays 7, 8 guys. Ole Miss plays 7, 8 guys. Sometimes not even that much. But Auburn plays them all. And, I think that's going to help Auburn later in the season. Because you get to that you get them dog days of March and you get in the tournament and you're just like, okay, I'm energized because we're in the tournament. Man, I'm tired. And hauled a lot of minutes, put up a lot of shots. I think that's going to benefit Auburn. I think Auburn is legit a Sweet 16, Elite 8 team when they're clicking. So, but I think it'll be tough for them at the Pavilion tonight. I think Ole Miss wins this game. I think Ole Miss wins it kind of like they did against State the other day. It's going to come down to the very end, and can Ole Miss make their shots? I feel like every time y'all shot the ball in the second half, it was a 3 and it went in. With a guy in your face, from from the parking lot, wherever you wanted to throw it up, it was going in. Fans have got to bring that same intensity. But I do think I betting man, I put my money on Ole Miss tonight.
Yeah. And I don't know if you watched, was it this? It was a state game. We had a little fan spill some water on the court. Did you see our towel guy get out there? They interviewed him after the game. I don't know if you saw that. And he was like, I'm just I'm trying to pump the crowd up. Like, I'm trying to get into it. And not only am I pumping the crowd up, the crowd's pumping the players up. The players are pumped up now. So it's like you can just thank the guy on the court clean up the spill for the Ole Miss win for sure. But you were talking about Auburn, they're playing their 10 guys, and I feel like that's why they're in the Sweet 16 all the time, right? Their guys don't get tired. Teams like Ole Miss and State, it's like, well, we got our 7.
Yeah.
Something happens to these guys, we're kind of – if somebody's in foul trouble, we're in that point. Like tonight, we got Duke, North Carolina. We got Houston, Kansas. Two teams.
Tennessee, Kentucky, all top.
Tennessee, Kentucky. Great teams playing tonight. They play their 10 guys.
Yeah.
They play their guys that can rotate. And when you get that 1 point guard that comes out who's a ball handler, guess what? You're getting the second guy who's a ball handler as well.
Yeah.
You're basically swapping out with the same thing. So that mentality, that momentum just never changes. And I think that's what makes those teams so good.
Yeah.
And I feel like if our teams can get to that point, if we can find some guys that we can trust in our bench that can step up and play, I think we could for sure make a run as a.
Oh yeah, I agree.
ESPN is playing in the background, so. But yeah, it's been a while. I'm glad we're back. I don't think I have anything else to touch on. I think we've kind of wrapped up everything that we've missed on and that's here. Weather's warming up. I mean, you can't tell we're wearing hoodies inside, but it is a hoodie Saturday. As always, just
I wear hoodies in the summer in the house. It's just
that's true.
Representing Hatley Tiger baseball. So season kicks off next week.
Representing the Ole Miss Rebs. Come to the sit, baby. Transfer portal kings over here. So, but yeah, the weather is slowly warming up, which is good. Because
they are predicting. We'll see. Today's the 3rd. They are predicting another ice storm on the 12th. So we'll see if the Farmer's Almanac was right 2 for 2. So because they predicted the last one a couple weeks ago. So we'll see.
Which was terrible. Which was terrible.
So,
but with it coming sooner, I mean, the Groundhog's Day was yesterday? He didn't see a shadow, so that means that we're getting warmer weather hopefully soon.
Yep.
But that means, my brother, baseball is right around the corner.
Yes, it is. And I said we kick off our first softball game. I'm helping coach softball this year. Our first softball game is the 12th. I will be there unless we are making a run in basketball because so baseball kicks off the 10th, so they're next week, next Friday. So I'm excited for them. I think they're gonna have a great year. I think softball wise, we're gonna have a great year. So and we could talk about State and Ole Miss baseball next year or next week. I mean, if you want, because I have, I know you guys just lost one of your big arms to an injury yesterday in an inter squad meet. So you sell your soul to the devil to win a national championship, and State went through it last year, and you guys can go through it this year. So,
for sure, it's going to happen. It's going to be good though. It's going to be fun for sure. The baby's waking up, so I think it is time to wrap this thing up. It's good to be back with you. Thank you everybody for the comments, the love, support. Your boys are back, but until then, we'll see you next week.
See y'all.